It's about midday right now, and we had a pretty good summer shower about an hour ago, but the sun is out now and it is blazing hot. I think I'm gonna go and make another one of these beds, mark out a place for another one of these beds, so it'll be a third bed over here in the corner. We removed the squash plant that was growing there because it was pretty much done, and I'm gonna go ahead and put out a third bed, so that way in this back corner back here we'll have 3 beds. So I remember where I made these 2 3x6 beds. I'm gonna put another one right here in this area. Alright, so that bed is 3x7, whereas the 2 over here are 3x6, so that's fine. I just need to make sure it's relatively square and relatively even to the foot so that I can divide up the square feet and then plant in those square feet. It's not that big of a deal. I'm just trying to have some type of organization, some type of, yeah, I'm just trying to have some type of organization to it. I was just moving the squash plant out into this pile over here by the compost to let it dry out, and I found a bunch of squash beetle eggs underneath this one leaf. Those are squash beetle eggs and some other random little bug, and those are not good. Now this squash plant's already been pulled up, so it's not that big of a deal, but I still don't want all of them hatching and then turning into squash beetles and then flying over to the new squash that's growing. So I'm gonna have to terminate these eggs. There's also squash beetles on these leaves too, like fully grown squash beetles on these leaves. Their life cycle is really short, so they go from egg to larva to the beetle really, really quickly. And again, these are the ones that look like ladybugs. So I think some people who don't know any better might think they are ladybugs, and ladybugs are good. They're a beneficial insect in the garden, but these are not. Just found more eggs. And 2 more sets of eggs. Okay, it would appear that there's quite the infestation on these leaves. So now I'm wondering, do I even want to let these sit here and all of these eggs hatch? Because I doubt I'm going to be able to get all of them. Hey, look who I found. It's the culprit himself right here. I'm not sure how long it appeared that took in the video, but it took, I think, just under an hour to move all that, but really not that bad. And the thing is that I wasn't originally planning on flipping it over to this bay. I was just gonna pull it all out here and then put it back in, just to kind of give it some air and just see how it's going. But then I was like, well, why would I do that when I could just go ahead and flip it, and then if I need to do that, if I need to pull it out, I can just pull it out of this one. So now I can go ahead and start filling up this one while this one finishes. But to be honest, I don't really know what is going on with the compost in here. I mean, it definitely is cooking, it's just taking a long time, and I think there's just a whole lot of grass that's all like matted up and wet. And so it's just like, I think there's not enough air getting into those parts where that grass is all matted up. So I might, like, once a week come out and pull this out and then put it back in just to kind of aerate it. I think that'll help the process go a lot faster, and I would like to have this ready, I mean, in a couple of weeks or a month. And I think it's possible, I just really need to speed up the process. Okay, welcome to attempt number 2 to ferment okra. And this time I didn't just slice my finger open. And also this time I have an actual weight that's made for weighing things down in a fermenting jar. And I have a lot of dill, and I have pickling spices this time, which I didn't have last time. So I'm taking out the garlic and whatever else I had in it last time. I don't even really remember. Maybe not anything else. So I have my saltwater brine, 3.5% salt, saline solution. I have a bunch of okra, I have my dill, my mason jar. This is a 32 ounce mason jar. I only had 16 ounce last time, so I can do a lot more okra this time. And the spices and the, I don't know what this is called, the device that allows air out, but none in, basically. Okay. So I'm just gonna throw this dill in here. Throw some on top too. I'm going to toss some of these in here. I'll even let a pepper go in there and a bay leaf. And then I'm just gonna throw this okra in. Now, hopefully, this is gonna be enough okra to kind of jam them in there to where everything doesn't float up. But here's the thing: this weight that is literally made for this size jar, or really for any mason jar, the weight, it definitely leaves room around it, where like some of these small little spices and stuff are definitely going to float up to the top and be exposed to the air at the top, and when that happens, those are probably going to mold. So I don't know what to do about that. There's some more dill, and I'm going to throw a couple more spices in. And that's it. Now I just need to pour this water in, this salt water. I'm gonna give it another stir just to make sure as much of the salt will dissolve in there as possible. And this is using pink Himalayan salt and distilled water. You don't want to use iodized salt, or you don't want to use. You want to use a nice salt. Fun fact, pink Himalayan salt does not come from the Himalayas. Okay, so room temperature, saline solution, just gonna pour it in. I'm just gonna make a mess, of course. Yeah, see, some of these spices are definitely gonna float. Already floating. Now, let's see what happens when I put this in. All the spices came to the top. See, that's what I don't understand. How, like, what am I supposed to do with these spices? I guess there's still a lot at the bottom, so maybe it's okay. I mean, all of the okra is definitely submerged. All of this spices are not. Those spices are probably gonna mold, but I'll just be able to take them out, I guess. But okay, and now I'm just gonna secure this lid down nice and tight, and then put this little doohickey in. Well, I pushed the rubber in. I pushed the rubber gasket in on accident. Silly rubber gasket. I pushed this that goes in the center of this. I pushed it all the way in. And now I can't get it back in there. Well, there we go. Oh, I know what to do. Put this in first. And that way I can also see how far in it is. Okay, now we're gonna screw this in. Now we're gonna struggle to screw this on. Still struggling. Still struggling. Why did I not struggle a second ago? There we go. Okay, nice and tight. To give that, there's a rubber gasket underneath the lid. Make sure no air can escape from that. And then last step is to pour some water about halfway into this device. That's good. The only thing you have to do is just let it sit in a cool, kind of dark place for around a week, and just make sure that this water doesn't evaporate out of this device. If it does, you just need to refill it. And that's it. So, in about a week, I will have fermented okra. And this process is way simpler than canning. And in canning, supposedly, you know, not supposedly, but when you can something properly, it can last pretty much indefinitely on the shelf. When you ferment, it is not going to last indefinitely on the shelf, but it will last quite a long time in a refrigerator or in a cool room or something. It'll last, I mean, a year or more. A lot of people would just say 6 months, but you can definitely make things last fermented for a year or more. So that's it. Hopefully this works out, and hopefully it tastes better than it did last time.